officially live. What is up, crew? Welcome back to another live sorting video. Hopefully you guys can hear and see me okay. I was having some slight computer glitches before I started. So audio and video, comment below. Let me know if you guys can hear me okay. I'm going to do another live haul video for you guys because you all said that you loved the last one. So I'm going to start doing these probably once a week. Right now, I am in a grind of sourcing probably 3 days a week, doing specifically thrift stores and Goodwills for eBay and our local warehouse sale that we now do every month. So I'm going to start doing once a week, probably just a live haul video like I did last time, like I'm doing right now. Hopefully give you guys a few tidbits of advice, if you want to call it that, but just why I'm picking stuff up, what I see in it, what the potential profit is, how much I paid, all that fun stuff. So let me take a quick minute to say hi to the chat. How is everyone doing tonight? Also, let me know if the microphone is working because my old cord broke and this is a different cord. So hopefully it's working right now. That would be awkward if it was not. How's it going, guys? Welcome in. Thanks for tuning in. This was unscheduled, unplanned. So I'm surprised we have people on. Welcome in. I don't know how my last one turned into an hour long again. So I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. I do not have as much stuff. So I don't have an excuse unless I end up just rambling, ranting, chit-chatting, all that fun stuff. But you guys keep watching. So I guess it doesn't matter how much time we go, right? As long as there's value being brought, I don't care. Down to 58 minutes. Let's go. All right. Quick sip of my LaCroix. LaCroix. I'm still waiting on my paycheck, by the way. I drink enough of this stuff on YouTube. I should be getting a sponsorship check soon. I don't have anything scripted, nothing pre-researched, etc. I think it's nice for you guys to see the raw research that I do right here in front of you. You guys can comment below and let me know if you like that style. I could make this video short and sweet. Like I can make this a 15-minute video if I pre-recorded and then edited all the parts of me rambling out, and I had nice fancy screenshots and all that kind of stuff I can throw up. But I think there's value for some people, especially newbies, because I got a ton of value when I got to see people's thought process, not just here's what I bought, it's going to sell for $40, move on. I want to know why, right? I want to see the comps. I want to see all that stuff. Where are the employees? My employee, Ryan, was in here earlier today. So he got the shipping done. He got a bunch of listings up. And yeah, so he comes and goes as he pleases as long as his workload gets done for the week. I let him have control over his schedule, so that works out for us. So let's dive in. First, I will say I have one. I think I have literally one item that was not Goodwill. It was a Value Village. No, not Value Village. It was Savers. So all this is pretty much going to be out of retail Goodwills, and then the other chunk is going to be out of the bins. Now with the bins, you're paying per pound, so I don't have an exact buy cost, but I do have my receipt from there, so I can break down roughly by $1 how much I paid. But I'll start with some of the stuff that I found. Found this actually on Sunday is when I found this. Tristan and I went into our local Goodwill here, and I found this Adobe Illustrator CS3, and it was in the case, and I'm pretty sure it's the same around all the Goodwills, but with case items, they don't let you just take it and then put it in your cart. They hold it behind, and you have to tell them you had something in the case. I completely, we went and got our other stuff, and we checked out, and we left and went home, and I completely forgot that I had them pull this. Luckily, it was there the next morning when I went back for it. So it was back inside of the case. I got it, made sure I paid for it. Now, I will say I did not, and this is a really good tip. Tip number one in this video, I'm probably just going to throw a bunch of random stuff out there, so don't mind me. Biggest tip is make sure, and there's actually another item I'll pull up next that I had the same issue with. Make sure, one, it's the exact item you are looking up on sold comps, and two, I told you guys this was going to be raw, so I'll just do it right now. So, and if you guys want to follow along, if you're new and you just don't know what to do with the eBay stuff, you can literally follow along right now, and I'll show you. So we're just going to type in Adobe CS3. Oh, let me back up. There's some different variations. We're going to type in Adobe Illustrator. Is anyone else horrible at spelling? Like they're words you know, but you have to really look at them and spell them out sometimes. All right, so if I go to, I'm filtering down to the sold listings. I really don't care right now with this product what people are currently pricing at. I care about what the solds are going for. The first thing I see is $69.99, $59.99, $69.99, a bunch of $70 and $60 sales. And of course, this was $6.99. So when I saw $6.99 turned into 60 plus, no brainer, grabbed it. And I got home and I took the photos and I started to do the research and create the listing. And then I realized the ones that I'm looking at for the $70 are a design premium edition. And it's a very subtle difference on the box because the box almost looks the exact same. It's got this orange colorway, but right underneath this main title would say deluxe. So you always want to make sure you're looking at the exact item. Deluxe editions on softwares, video games, you have to pay real close attention to that kind of stuff. But either way, I just listed this yesterday, actually. Again, I paid $6.99, so I paid $7. And PS, if you don't know, I live in Oregon. We don't have sales tax. So any price I ever throw out there on YouTube, I get hammered with comments. People are like, yeah, bro, you didn't include the sales tax. I don't pay sales tax, okay? They ream me on income tax at the end of the year. But I do not do sales tax here in Oregon. So I'm going to go to my active listing. So I did list this yesterday at $49.95, which is higher than what these ones are selling for. These are selling between $30, $35 on average, which is still good. It's not great. So I just went high. I listed $49.95. I have a watcher on it, and it might be one of you. I don't know. It's a public store. But I usually do this with all my items. I price a little bit higher than the other guys. I'm looking to get some watchers, and then I can send out offers to those watchers, or I can drop my price. Usually on Sundays or Monday mornings, I'll sit down and review pretty much all of our items. The older stuff that's been in there, I'll start adjusting prices. So this was a pretty good find. Everything in here is pristine condition. It may have been used. It's mint. It's got the instruction manuals, both the discs, all that kind of stuff is inside of there. And if you guys have any questions along the way, feel free to comment below. Second grade spelling champions. Why doesn't Goodwill have an eBay store? They do. I think there's multiple. It's not just one main corporate Goodwill eBay store. It's depending on the branches, they will create their own eBay stores, and they also have their own online auction site now. So Goodwill has their own platform online where they cherry pick this kind of stuff. And ultimately comes down to the people that are processing, because if somebody picked this and they had no idea what the value is, they put $6.99 on it and put it out on the case. Now, somebody who's, let's say, a gamer or a PC person, not even necessarily a gamer, it's an illustrator, but if a graphics person or somebody who knows computer software saw this, they would not price this at $7. They would probably send it back. I don't know where they send it, but then it would go up on their auction site because it's a higher ticket item. I don't know the ins and outs on how that all works, but yep, shopgoodwill.com. And I've actually flipped a few things off there too. So that's a little secret tip for you. I don't actively shop on there much right now, but heck, if you guys can find some stuff, go for it. So along with, I'm just going to share my failures right up front. How about that? Along with not reviewing my own product that I picked up enough. Number 2, and this works out fine because I have a 4-year-old. This is freaking sweet. Now, I'm really getting into older toys, like 90s toys. I'm really getting back into, especially the stuff that I found. I'll show you guys one of them. I found that I had as a kid, and most people walked right by this at the bins, not this specific one. I had my eye on this when it rolled out, so I picked it quick. But there's another item in here. It's a toy, and I had it when I was a kid. And just because of that nostalgia, I had to look it up. And sure enough, it's selling for $20. Used, and you guys will see what it is. But this thing is the original Godzilla. Now, people always ask, how do you know about toys? Okay, how do you know what to look up? 99% of toys, some of them I couldn't find in the past, but 99% of toys are going to have some, I don't know if you guys are going to be able to pick this up. Hold on, let me see if I can get a reflection of my light on there. Come on, autofocus. There it is. most toys are going, at least the older ones, are going to have the date. So this says 1998. Okay. So I literally am going to, this is what I do when I'm outsourcing. And again, if you guys are new to eBay and you just kind of want to tag along, I'm giving you guys the keywords that I look up so you can kind of learn the basics of this. So I'm going to type in 1998 Godzilla, and I start broad. And then if I see a listing that's this exact one and it has a specific descriptor in it, then I can go and target that keyword a little bit better. So tons of different Godzilla toys were made in 1998. And I didn't sit there. I was at the bins. So, I mean, if you guys have been in the bins, it's pretty fast paced sometimes. So you're not going to sit there and look comps up when you're at the bins. You kind of have a general idea. You grab your stuff and then you do your research later. So I have not done more in-depth research on this yet, because here's the thing I can't find. Earlier when I looked this up, this has the handle. Now, this obviously takes batteries. You guys can see where the sound comes out here. So this has a handle. Look at that. The tail wags. Oh, here we go. So you guys can see it's got all kinds of cool motions that it can do. So earlier when I looked, I did not find the one that has the handle. So I don't know if this would be more valuable or not. But here was the issue. When I got back to the office and I brought this in, his toe is missing. It's not a good thing, because this is considered vintage Godzilla now. He's old. So he's missing a toe. One of his legs, which one is it? This one? Actually, you know what? Let me see if it's supposed to be that way. Sometimes they're meant to be looser so they can kick. So this leg in particular, I don't know how well you guys can see it. It's just kind of there. It's like this one's, wait, this one doesn't even move that much. No, this one is stationary, but this one, I think it's meant to kick, and this button is not making it kick. So that's completely my bad. If I would have just taken an extra 30 seconds before I checked out and just really looked at this thing and moved each piece, I would have saw that, okay, it's got an issue. So I would technically list this for parts. Now, with that being said, I could list it for parts. And again, I'm going to do more research on this, see if I can find the exact one with the handle and the buttons. Or maybe one of you are Godzilla experts. That would be nice. I'm just going to find something similar to it. I mean, these things are ranging, if you guys are following along, these pre-owned 1998 Godzilla figures, they range anywhere from $15 all the way up to $50 and $60 for used. So 4 parts, you know, I can list this for like $20. It is, I don't know if you guys can tell how big this is. It's definitely got some size to it. So this might cost me $15 to $18 to ship if it goes from Oregon to Florida, worst case scenario. So in that case, because it's not in perfect working order, this is going to my 4-year-old. And he's going to love this thing. He's in a pretty big dinosaur phase right now. So those are my first 2 failures. First one, they're not total failures. I mean, there's still going to be money to be made inside the Adobe CS3, but I did not take the time to, 1, make sure it was the exact same item on that Adobe, and 2, I failed to fully check that item out. So before you check out, you want to make sure if it's a toy or something that has movable parts, you want to make sure nothing's loose, make sure everything's good. Same thing when you pick up VCRs. A common thing is people will just pick up a VCR, plug it in. If it turns on, they'll put it in their cart. Shake it. I'm not even kidding. Shake the VCRs. Because think about this. How many kids are shoving crap inside of VCRs? I have found screws and pennies and candy, like old chewed up candy, all kinds of stuff inside of VCR. So if you shake it and you hear something in there, 1, you need to decide if you want to open it up and take it out and try to make sure it's nothing broke. Chances are it's just a kid put in something to it. Yeah, this isn't the, thanks for the clarification. This is not the original Godzilla. That obviously that was way before 1998. This was just the movie version that came out. He's got kind of that slick looking face. Yeah, it's definitely not the the true vintage one would be worth way more. Yeah, I don't know what it is about 90s toys. I kept finding stuff that I had as a kid and just looking them up because they all have dates on them. And it's just kind of turning into one of my ball games right now. I love it. Yeah, that's going to vary store to store. So the Goodwill employees I know in our area, they have a 3-day delay from the time that something is put out on the floor till they can buy it. And I don't know if it's that way everywhere or if some stores just won't let them buy anything. Have I ever sold Guitar Hero guitars on Amazon? If so, how do I prep it? Bubble wrap and stretch wrap. And then your item label goes right over the stretch wrap. All right, next up, let's see if we can fly through these. This one, you guys probably saw in the thumbnail. I was really, really happy to find this because it's in really good shape. So this was like, I should have took a picture how I found it. So I'm in the Goodwill bins. And if you guys haven't been in the bins, they're literally 9 foot they must be 9 by 4 foot, big blue bins. We've got the sun coming down. So I'm going to get some weird lighting situations coming up right here. So I roll up my cart to the bins, and these bins have already been picked clean. This thing is literally just sitting there with not much around it. And I pick it up, and I really don't know clothing that much. Like, I don't know clothing brand. It's just not a category I love to sell in. I don't have a passion for clothing items. I love 90s toys. I love hard goods. I love electronics. That's my game. So I picked this up. I'm like, this just looks like it's worth more than a couple bucks, because at the bins you're paying for this kind of stuff. You're going to pay $2.29 a pound. If you get 25 pounds or more, you're going to pay $1.29. So you get a really, really big discount over 25 pounds. So I paid a couple bucks for this. This thing, I mean, it weighs pretty much nothing. So I maybe paid $2. This probably doesn't even weigh a pound. I knew this had to be worth more than 20 bucks. And luckily it has a tag on it. So for those of you following along, the tag reads cap field. It's got an actual model number on it, MQ-1, for those of you following along. Now, active listings kind of all over the place. There's a $20 one, there's a $50 one, a $55. Again, I'm going to go down to solds. There's a $20 sale that just happened on 4/21. So that was about a little bit over a week ago. There's solds for $8, $15, and then I don't know why some of these sell for more than others, but there's a $40 sale plus $6 shipping, a $45 sale plus $9 shipping, $25 plus $8 shipping. So you guys can see comps are kind of all over the place. I think because of how great of condition this one is in, I'm going to list it. Again, I start a little bit higher. I'd be good with $40. So I'm going to list this at $39.95, and hopefully it sells. If not, at least gather a few watchers. I can send out offers from there. So that was definitely probably my find of the entire day that I was pretty excited about. So there you go. That's how we turn $2. Not even $2. I actually have my receipt right here. Let me see. The one thing with the receipts, I wish they would put how many units. So I'm going to get you guys my exact cost. 14.28 divided by, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I had 6 items. So I paid $2.38 for this. Because obviously I did not have 20 pounds worth today, or 25 pounds. So I had to pay the, wait, what am I doing? I'm looking at the wrong thing. That was my electronics. Electronics. That's sweet at the bench. You pay 69 cents a pound. You get a VCR for like $2. All right. So these items, I paid $3.20 for all of them. I had 6 of them, which means I paid 53 cents for this item right here. So even if I sell it for $25, that's still great margin on that. So that made me happy. I was definitely excited with that one. Questions so far? I'm definitely not going to do the 30-minute mark, guys. I'm going to try to speed through the rest of this. Sweet. I'm going to note that down. Shout out to Freebooter X, said the Godzilla is the I'm going to type this in, 1998 battle action heavy hitter. Oh, that's incredible. Sweet. Thank you for looking that up. All right, so we've got $25 free shipping. Oh, the one with the box, that'd be sweet. 35 plus 25 shipping, 33 plus 19 shipping. Yeah, so this is a case where I could, if it was in great working condition, it actually looks like I can see the hole on the foot, and it has that little like ground stand, which explains why it won't stand up straight. So it's supposed to have a little stand with it. If it had the stand and was in working condition, $25. Still just a cool flip. Some of these flips, it's not even about making a ton of money. It's just the nostalgia of like an older toy that you had when you were a kid, and you get to bring that to a collector somewhere. Holy brightness. You guys see what's going on right now? It's going to take probably about 7 minutes, but that'll go away. That's so bright. And I just shaved my head, so it's like blinding. All right, let's bust through the rest of these. Speaking of old toys, I got a few of them here. Found this guy. I've never had this. Where'd I get the foam? I just got it on Amazon. It was like $5 or something like that. Just type in blue Yeti mic. Wow, I'm completely drawing. Pop filter. That's what it was. Blue Yeti mic pop filter, and you'll see these things pop up. I just like these rather than like the big circle one that pops out. It's just, I have one, but they're just so big. Yeah, people can definitely be rude. The Goodwill bins is not for the shy. That's for sure. You get some pretty rude people. There's one guy in there today that just drove me nuts just watching how he was. But for the most part, I haven't not had issues since I've been going back. So this guy I never had as a kid, but he just looked like he was not a new toy. So sure enough, again, sometimes it's going to be on a tag, especially if it's a plush outside or a plush itself. There's always going to be a tag. Usually a tag will show a date. If not, it's usually going to be on the foot. Sometimes if it's like plastic, it'll be on the belly or something like that. So this was a 2008 Play School. Now, I don't know who this character is or if he was from a TV show or something like that. So I literally just type in 2008 Play School, and then I typed in T-Rex. And the first one that pops up shows that his name is Coda and Pals Monty. So Coda and Pals must have been, I've never watched it. I don't know if it's a TV show or what it was, so I'm sorry if I just offended any 90s kids here. Well, I guess not true, like 2008, not quite 90s. But his name is Monty. So then I can filter down my keyword even more. So I'm going to filter down to Monty the T-Rex. There is a listing in the box, brand new for $99 right now. I'm going to filter down to used. How much did I pay for this? I think the tag's on it. I paid $3.99 just for all the trolls. Like, you were lying about your prices. $4. This blows my mind. So he recently sold for $12.99 plus $35 for shipping. This one cracks me up. $17.50 was the sell price plus $65 for shipping. That did not cost $65 to ship. So that's where that guy made his money. Or gal. I don't judge. I don't know. There's a 33 with free shipping and a 30 plus 15 shipping. So this guy, obviously, he's robotic somehow. So he's got the battery case is going to be in here. So I'm going to put batteries in him. I don't know if this was an RC. It doesn't look like it was a remote controlled one. Oh, it's on the try me mode. So let's do this. Nope. He's got dead batteries. Oh, no. Okay. Here we go. So there's a button right here. That's good to know. Oh, good. I'm not the only one that doesn't recognize him. Yeah, if he was a 2000 show, I stopped watching TV after that. But 90s, I was all over 90s. So I need to put batteries in him and make sure that he turns on. I mean, awesome condition for being 11 years old. I mean, there's not a stain, there's not a tear, there's not a scuff, just awesome condition. So looking at comps, I mean, they're kind of all over the place. I would start at probably, you've got to ask yourself, when you've got an item like this where there's comps everywhere, what would you be happy with? Some people would be like, I'm happy with 40. Some people would say I'm happy with 60. I would price at like the $59.99 range, maybe $69.99. Actually, let me look at current listings. This is where I'll look at the actives because I want to see what other people are pricing at. Yeah, see, we've got people pricing at 40 to 50. There's a guy $69.99, free shipping. So there's a good amount of listings up for this. So I'd probably just price right in the middle with some of those other guys, like the $50 to $60 range. And especially because I know my photos are going to be, I mean, come on, guys. Take good photos, people. Sorry if that's any of your listings. I apologize. I don't mean any offense, but take good photos. Especially the red. This thing's going to pop on the white background. It's going to look sweet. All right, so I'm going to price this at the $50 to $60 range and hopefully catch a few watchers. If not, sell it at that price. And that's how I look stuff up. I am looking for the date. I'm looking for a brand, and I type in general what it is. Start with big, broad keywords. And then once you find the exact model of whatever you're looking at, then you can filter it down even more to see just those listings. I know. I'm curious. Is this thing going to be like one of those loud roaring things or like a cute little T-Rex? Can you, should you, and do you clean plush? If it's bad, I will. Well, I don't. Not that I don't. I wouldn't. I would. My Trista is the. I just said my Trista. My wife, Trista. Technically, my Trista. She is the expert in the cleaning field, so she loves to do all the cleaning stuff. So I don't know her magic ways of doing that. All right, next up, let's bust through these last ones, and I can hit some Q&A for you guys. Tin box, tiddlywinks, factory sealed, and this was from. I saw a date earlier. Here we go, 2002. So. These are selling for like $12. I just need 3 cents. Pay 53 cents. It's going to sell for like $12. But again, sometimes it's not about making a ton of money. It's just these are kind of little bread and butter items. If you can hit that like $12 to $20 price point range and just sell some volume. What's my bare minimum for photos? Do you mean how many? I usually take minimum. I mean, it depends on the item. Some items that are factory sealed, like I'm not going to take 12 photos of this thing, right? I'm going to take a main photo. I'm going to do one of each side. The bottom, there's nothing on it. So yeah, as far as minimum photos, I mean, 4 bare minimum if it's something that's new. If it's something used, I'm going to max out as much of the 12 as I possibly can. As far as gear and quality, everything I personally use, and it is an affiliate link. So if you choose to support it, we thank you. If you don't want to support it, just look on Amazon. Go to sidehustleprosgear.com. I need to update that link, but that's what it is right now. Sidehustleprosgear.com. Click on the eBay tab and you'll see the exact equipment that I use. So you can see the exact background. It's not just a white piece of paper type of background or like poster. It's got it's like a PVC type material that's white and it reflects the light that hits it. And I love that background. It costs like $30. I just replaced my old one. And they last forever and they're easy to clean. So really, really like that. And then we've got your basic 2 softbox lights, and that's all you need. You don't need anything fancy. I have a ring light that I'll use and I'll put like overhead light on, but that's just extra. You don't need anything more than your 2 soft boxes and just a basic white background. That's really it. Like our first photo box that we had was, it was poster board, white poster board from Dollar Tree. Trista got 1, 2, 3, 4. She got 4 poster boards and made a little box. And that was our first thing. We used that for like 8 months until I sucked it up and bought the $30 background. I've been in love with that one ever since. Oh, what's up? It must be Serena. Checking in from Portland. I was just in Portland earlier this morning. Some of this stuff I got from Portland, so I'm sorry I was in your backyard sourcing. Next up, this was from a regular Goodwill. Okay. Man, that light got super bright. It's coming down, so we're getting there. Serena, gotcha. So this is Victoria's Secret perfume. $7.99 was my buy cost. And these are selling for between, it was 25 and 35. So I'll just price this at I'll probably start $34.99, get some watchers or sell it at that price, and then send out offers if needed. So easy flip. It's all new on the inside. Hasn't been opened up. Here's another, well, this one's for my back wall. Little Luigi in the white costume. So he's gonna go up on my shelf. So that was a personal buy. He would have caught, again, if I was breaking down how much I paid for the hard goods stuff at the bins, because that's where he came from, I paid 53 cents per item. So 53 cents to make me happy is worth it. Here's another old toy. And again, this was a nostalgia thing. I saw it. I'm like, I remember playing with this. Me and my brother would have our little guys, and we had two of them, and he had one too. And we had a blast with these things. So the second I saw this, I'm like, I have to look it up. And I'll do that again for you right now. Again, most of the time they're going to have a year on them. So I'm just typing 1991. And it's got the brand, of course, which is always nice. So Fisher Price, 1991 school bus. Now, this thing did not have... Oh, there's one with the box, $55. So this did not come with any of the little guys, which would have been really nice. And again, this is not worth much. Like I said earlier, some of this isn't. It's not going to make a ton of money. I might make $5 on this, but they're ranging between. There was a $7.99, and if you guys see the slash, that means that they took a best offer, and they did $13 in shipping. There's a $30 sale, but that came with some of the people. There is a $19.99 plus 17 shipping that came with people. So a lot of these came with the people. Again, I paid 53 cents for this, and this was probably going to hang out in my local warehouse sale that I do, and I can probably sell this for $4 or $5, which I know to most people is like doesn't make sense, but that's one of our business models that we do now is that warehouse sale. And I mean, it's just easy high margin stuff on there. So that is how I've been looking up all the 90s toy stuff. This was another nostalgia one. Did anyone else own this as a child? Where are my 90s kids at? Where are my 90s kids at? We got Bearded Picker in the house. So funny. I missed some comments. Let me scroll up. Honestly, just hearing 2 softbox lights helps me narrow down things a lot. Yeah, you don't need anything fancy. The 2 softbox lights that we have up in our affiliate Amazon store, they're like $65 for the set. You don't need anything fancy. Yeah, and camera. So that's a really good topic. I use my phone. I've got the XS Max, so it's a phenomenal camera. But before this, I was using the iPhone 7. And after I was using the iPhone 7 and then upgrade to the iPhone 8, I did not get the iPhone X, and I skipped and went to the iPhone XS Max. So I'm a big fan. Just use what you got. You don't need anything fancy. Have you guys seen some of the photos on sold comps before? Holy F. I've seen photos of an item that's like on the living room floor. There's a dirty toe in it. You don't need to go fancy. Don't overthink it. But if you are going to upgrade, big fan if you have a decent camera phone, definitely use what you got there. And then for my employee, I do have a Canon T6i, which I've been a big fan of. So if you're looking for a legit camera, you can't go wrong with cameras like Nikon D, anywhere between like the 3200 all the way up to like the 7000. Those are phenomenal cameras. The Canon T3i, the Canon T6, the 6i, those are great cameras. I've never used Sony much. I've used the Sony A5000, the Sony A6000, 63. Not a huge fan of the Sonys versus what the Canons and Nikons can do. But again, you don't need fancy equipment. Just use what you got. 90s kid. How about a 70s kid? So funny. Oh my gosh, Facebook Marketplace. I literally just posted a picture inside of our VIP group a couple days ago. Let me see if I can find this. I have to find this. Facebook Marketplace. I have found the craziest photos of people selling stuff. I really hope I can find this right now. Again, I take all my photos on my phone, so I've just got like backlog of, and I love to do it that way too because I create backlogs. So I'll go through spurts where I'll take photos of 30 or 40 items. That way I can have, when I have little chunks of time at the house, or if I'm out shopping and there's a big line at the grocery store, I can literally just right there be like, all right, I'm going to create, like, I set a goal to create 2 listings in that line. So it's nice to have that backlog. I'm going to find this photo because it was too good. All right, I can't find the one I'm thinking of, but I found this one. This was a Facebook Marketplace. Atari 2600 retro with a 19-inch flat screen TV. And I messaged him as a gag and I said, "Hey, does the DQ cup come with it?" Like, the DQ cup is the main part of the image. You can't make this stuff up. It's so good. All right, next up. Oh, I'll show you guys this. So I had this when I was a kid, which is why it caught my eye. And then I'm on a challenge right now to look anything I see. If I haven't checked it before, I'm just checking it. This is a 1992 Funrise ambulance. All right, that's not what I saw earlier. So I'm not going to type in Funrise, which is the brand. I'm just going to type in 1992 ambulance. And there's a lot more listings that come up that way. And it all depends on if the person that created the listing used those certain keywords. So this exact one sold for the same one, right? Yep. Exact one sold for $24.99 used. Now, if I remember right, the lights will actually light up. Yes, because there's a battery case right here. So I've got to put batteries in it, and these lights right here will light up. And if it works, I've got 2 buttons right here. So if it works, I mean, I'm going to list it $24.99 like they did, and hopefully it sells. So that's exciting. All right, next. I've sold a couple of these before. So I didn't look up comps at all because I've sold a couple of these. So this is an Aerosmith Gibson, and this one goes to a PlayStation. Yes. You can always tell on these guitars because the power button will show the Xbox or PlayStation symbol. So this is a PlayStation version Gibson Aerosmith. These I've sold between 30 and 35. And people always ask, I need to do a video on this. How do you ship them? Because some of these, this one's nice because look at this. This has the detachable neck. Okay. Not hard to ship that inside of a box. But you get some of the older ones or like the Xbox 360 Explorer guitars. I sold like 13 of those. Those do not have detachable necks. So you got this long, skinny thing here. So what I do is I take 2 priority boxes. Let me try to make this as clear as I can because no matter how clear I try to be on these types of videos where I show shipping, people don't know how to listen. You are not using a flat rate box. You are not using a flat rate box. You're using the standard big squared, the large main priority box. And they're perfect shape. You bubble wrap this. I stretch wrap it on top of that. Give that tight effect. It makes it look super clean. This drops into the first box. Second box goes on top, and then I tape it around the middle. I've sold tons of these things that way. No issues at all. And I figure I'm going to put all my stuff. I'm stacking up here. So Aerosmith, you can always tell it's that bright red. They've got a couple different color ones too. So hopefully that balances there. Yeah, you can Frankenbox it. There's all kinds of ways you can ship that kind of stuff. Yeah, and I forgot to mention, I paid $5 for that. And for some reason, I don't know if that's just my area. I find these things for $5 everywhere, between $3, $4, $5 range. Very few times have I seen people. I've seen a couple Goodwills that will price them at like $19.99. So you can tell certain Goodwills know what they're looking at. This was, hopefully this doesn't go off. This is super annoying. It was getting bonked around in my car on the way home and it kept hitting the button. So this is another example of something I did not know what keywords exactly to punch in. So I looked up 1992. This is Play School. And this is electronics. So if you're at the bins, your toy stuff that has batteries, they count as electronics. So I paid 69 cents a pound. This probably weighs a pound and a couple ounces. So I paid under $1 for this. 1992 Play School. And I didn't know what this is it. There's nothing else on there as far as ideas. So I just typed in music. 1992 Play School music, and the exact one pops up. So this is a Rockin' Radio musical toy. So then I can narrow it down. So I'm going to put Rockin' Radio. So I can get all the extra stuff out of there I don't need to see. This sold for $21.95. This is all pre-owned. $21.95, $9.95 plus 13 shipping. $19 plus 13 shipping, 12 plus 17 shipping. Like it's crazy. People pay this much for really old toys. So it's an easy $20. It does need some cleaning and there's some like marks. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to get off. So I'll probably list this at $20. I'll undercut everyone else because it's not in perfect shape. You guys can see some of the markings on there. It's not in perfect shape. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, it does work. Trust me. I listened to this like 8 times on the way home. It does work. So I'm going to, and I was just thinking like, how old are these batteries, right? They're not original batteries, that's for sure, but maybe somebody changed them lately. So it turns on, it works. I'm going to list it at $19.99. And based on the comps, I have no doubts this thing is going to sell for that. Carefully put it down. Don't hit it. All right, we're going to rapid fire through the rest of this. This was another bins find. Again, based on the hard goods, I paid 53 cents each. So I paid 53 cents Mercedes-Benz hat. Comps, and this thing's new, so it's still got that original cardboard inside of it. Mercedes-Benz, there was a lot of different, I looked them up, there's a lot of different hat types, and they were ranged between some as low as like $13, $14, some as high as $30. So I'll probably list this. It's a pretty basic hat. So I'll list it probably like $17.99 free shipping or something like that. All right. How are we all doing so far? A month ago on a live stream, you and Trista modified a skinny priority box. Could you do a tutorial? I already did a tutorial on that one. So if you go to our YouTube channel and filter down, I'm pretty sure on my channel, you can actually search by keywords on there. If not, just filter down and just scroll through. It wasn't that long ago. It was last summer. I don't do a lot of videos on this channel. I've got less than 300 videos on the entire channel. So you want to scroll down and find there's 2 different shipping for eBay videos I did. And on one of them, I showed you how I custom cut that. All right, so let me get the rest of these out. This was, I think, the only item that was not Goodwill. This was at Savers. And where's my price? I paid $8. So I paid up on it. I paid $8 for this. And everything is, I don't think it was used. Everything on the inside was pretty much still in like the wrapping, and it just looked phenomenal. These things range between, if you guys don't look up these types of phones, like just do it. Most of them will have a model number. This one, most of the time they're going to be on the box. So that's a model number right there. This one has different variations because you've got just the single phone docks. This one's the larger unit. It's the actual answering system. These will range between $20 to $60 depending on which one you have. This was more towards like the $45 to $50 range. So to go $8, possibly a $50 sell price, it is going to cost me a little bit up on shipping. I'd say $20 tops if it goes from here to Florida. It will cost me about $20 to ship. I am going to ship at FedEx. Priority would be more. I definitely know that. So phone systems, I always look up. Even used ones. Used ones shock me that they still sell. Side Hustle Jack says, good stuff. Been following for about a year. And it's cool to have my thinking confirmed by what you're saying. Shipping, pricing, growth is happening. There you go. Nice work. Keep consistent and it grows. How do you test those? You just plug them in and use them like you normally would. I don't have like a landline that I can plug it into and check it that way. So in my listing, as long as everything turns on and the screens are clear, all the buttons, as many buttons as you can test. And in my listing, I'll state what I did for testing. So testing included powering the unit on, checking the buttons, and then I'll put was not tested on a landline. As long as you're clear, I've never had any issues, but I try to be as clear in the description as I can with that stuff. Yeah, garage sales, guys. I've sold a lot of these phones. Just you can get like the VTech ones are pretty good too. Yeah, it's easy money, especially garage sales. You get them for $5, sometimes cheaper. All right, got some more traditional hard goods. Got a tie. I never do ties, but this is completely silk, and the brand is Sensabang. Probably mispronouncing that. Sensabang. It's got elephants on it. Pristine condition. There's no snags or stains or anything on that. I couldn't find this exact one. I was at the bin, so I didn't look up comps in depth, but I just did a basic search on this silk tie as far as the brand goes. And they were selling between 12 to 20. And I paid, again, 53 cents. So even if I sell it for $12, still making a few dollars on that one. Yeah, it's a nice tie, though. If I wore ties, like I'd wear spunky stuff like that. I got some Looney Tunes and some Taz ones, too. Those are fun. All right, next, I just picked these up this morning at a regular Goodwill. Some of these I paid up on. So these are a women's 2016 Air Max. I did pay up on them. I paid $25. They were worn. They're dirty, but they're not. When I say worn, I mean there's actual dirt on them. But as far as like how much the heels are worn out, they weren't worn that much. So once they're clean, they're going to look really nice. There's no stains or snags on the upper, which is always good. And the colorway makes a shoe is the main thing I've learned. Sizes matter, but more so, you get some spunky colorways like this stuff sells. So I don't know. I had a hard time finding many comps on this. So I'm just going to take a shot. If I can sell them for $60, I paid $25. So my minimum sell price is going to be $60 in order to cover shipping, my fees, and have a little bit of extra wiggle room for my profit. So I'm going to be happy to do these. And I think I'm going to start offering something because I did some deals with subscribers before. If you guys ever see me unbox or do a haul video and you want an item, like don't mess around. Like if you legit want an item, you can always shoot me a message on Instagram is the best way to get a hold of me. It's going to be the Side Hustle Network on Instagram. Shoot me a message and let me know if you're interested. And I'm more than happy to work out. I'm not going to, if we do a direct deal, I don't have to pay the fees. And so I'm more than happy to work out a deal. This is 9 as far as size goes. So size 9 on those. I just love Air Max. They're definitely one of my favorite shoes. These are sweet. Like if I was a female, I would probably rock these. Trista wouldn't like it too much. I rocked them now, probably. Again, I paid up on these. These were $25. I did see comps for these ones. You guys all by now should know how to look up comps on shoes. That inner tag, sometimes it's hiding, but that inner tag underneath the size is going to have that 6 digit number. That's the style of the shoe dash the 3-digit number after that is going to be the colorway. If you ever do the full 9 digits and nothing comes up, take the last 3 digits off, which is that specific color. And there might be these listed under another color, and you can kind of gauge your pricing that way. But there were listings and sold comps for over $60 on these. And these are mint condition too. So these ones are a size 7.5, which I'm not a huge fan of half sizes sometimes, but 7.5, I've sold these before. Not this model, but 7.5s I've sold before. So it should work out fine. All right, next up. These are easy money. I mean, come on. Fly knits. If you guys ever see fly knits, just get them. Like, don't get them if they're priced stupid high, but fly knits sell really well. These, I paid $12.99 for these. And the colorway is pretty sweet. Like, this kind of stuff that I would love to wear. But it's not my size. Oh shit, this one is my size. Dang it. So now I have a dilemma. I might keep these ones. So $12.99. There are sold comps and listings. New, these sell for over $100. They're sold comps and listings for over $60, and I paid $13. Like, that's easy. And they're in pretty good shape. I'm actually needing a pair of running shoes because I got Spartan race coming up, so I got to start doing some actual running. So I might keep these, or I might sell them. I'm not quite sure yet, but 10.5. I'm excited for those. And you guys can see this is just piles of Goodwill stuff I've been stockpiling for last week. I'm slowly picking through and listing it every day. Keeps me busy, so that's a good thing. All right, last pair is a brand I've never looked up before, so I've never sold this brand. Let me know if you guys have. It's called Kuru. It's Kuru. These are Kuru Carreras, and they were cheap-ish. They were $15. No, these were half off. Today was blue. Goodwill's blue half off right now, so I paid $7.50 for these. Sold comps. I didn't look up. I couldn't find this exact model, but sold comps were anywhere between 40, 50, all the way up to like the 60 range for used shoes under this brand. Purple, for some reason, my purple stuff I've done before sells really well. So for $7.50, I mean, and they're in pretty good shape too. Definitely gonna take that. Yeah, there's so many brands of shoes. I've never heard of these ones before. These are a size women's 9, by the way. So Kuru, you can add that one to your list. I'm, of course, gonna make sure save my receipts. All right, home stretch, guys. Home stretch. This was another bins find, so 53 cents. The brand is David and Young, and I'm just now kind of getting into the hats. This could be a complete waste of 53 cents. I don't know yet, but I couldn't find the exact plaid pattern or like the wool, but David and Young hats in this similar style were selling between like 12, 15, some as high as 20. I figured 53 cents to possibly sell for 15, then I'll definitely take a shot with that. All right, this guy. This is a rockin' Elmo with his little tambourine. This is a fun one. I need to look this up and show you guys. All right. Elmo. Hold on. Where it was 2010. So we're looking at this. So I'm pulling this up for a reason. So I paid, how much were you? $2.99. I found 2 of them, by the way, 2 different Goodwills. The tambourine sold for $9.95. Just the tambourine. The tambourine covers the cost of the whole thing. If these were new in the box, there's a sold comp for $50, and just used by himself. It's kind of cool. There's like a little guitar version. Looks like you can swap instruments out with them, a little piano. So sold comps, I mean, again, they're kind of spread out anywhere between 12 and 25. Because he has this, I need to clean it up a little bit, but because he has this, and I need to test him out because he talks too. So as long as he works as far as the battery situation goes, then I'm probably going to list him at 25 to 30. He's in pretty good shape too. So I'll probably start at 30, hopefully get some watchers that way. So that type of Elmo is another one to look out for. I don't know if I'm selling this one. I paid $1.99. It's just a cool looking mug. So I think we're going to keep this one. We are huge fans of Disney. So we've actually, inside of our bathroom over here, we've got a whole Disney shelf built out over there. So that's that. Next up, I'm not going to, I don't need to show you guys like the VCRs and stuff. I've got 2 VCRs and I've got an audio, what's the thing called? Equalizer. So it's an audio equalizer. It was at the bin, 69 cents a pound. So I paid between $3 and $5 per unit, depending how heavy they are. And the average sell price, I usually stick with minimum 60. So all 3 of those are worth at least 60 each. This was just awesome. $5. I didn't look anything up. I didn't need to. $5 for all these Pogs. And there's a couple slammers in there too. And again, my fellow 90s nerds will get this. The crazy part is they're all in individual sleeves. There's a few loose ones, but whoever had this set didn't even play Pogs. They just collected them, and they're all beautifully contained in there. But I did look up one of them. I don't know if you guys can see it. This one is a Beavis and Butthead slammer. So it's like a little metal one that you would slam down. That one sells between like $6 and $8. So technically that one pays for the entire lot. And again, I don't know if I'm going to keep or if I'm going to sell, just because the nostalgia factor. I might just create like a little Pogs segment up on my wall here. Last one is, this isn't a huge flip, but I used to be a gamer, believe it or not. So I had to get this. World of Warcraft 3 Collector's Edition. It's got everything inside of it. It's just, pull it out like this. It's got the artwork. It's got everything is just beautiful inside of there. These sell between like 35 and 40. So again, not a huge flip. I might actually list it locally first because we're in a small town, but our town we've got a lot of like collectors and gamers around here. So I think we're going to list this because it's probably 4 or 5 pounds. So just to save on the shipping and the fees, I'm going to try to list this locally for 30 first. If it doesn't sell locally in the next couple weeks, then I'll list it up on eBay and Mercari for probably 35 and do it that way. I'll probably charge a few bucks for shipping on that one too. So there you go, folks. I tried to keep it short and it did not work. But I don't ever want these haul videos to just be like, hey, I found this hat. Hey, I found this. Hey, I found this. And like not give you guys any methodology or reasoning behind it. So I like to kind of talk through why I got it, where I plan to sell it, etc. Things I'm looking for. So if you guys get value out of these types of haul videos that are just live, these are completely unscripted. I do no research ahead of time except for what I did in the store, just so I can show you guys my actual thought process with some of this stuff. And I'm not an expert by any means. Like some of this stuff might not sell. It may tank. I may have to break even on my pricing. But the whole point is I'm out here putting in the work, doing the trial and the error so I can find better ways to keep getting better at my craft. So if you guys enjoy this style of content, do me a huge favor, hit the thumbs up button. That shows me which types of videos you guys enjoy most, and then I'll create more of those types of videos. So you guys can even go through, if you want to do us one big favor, go through the channel. I've done tons of different types of videos. Go through and just hit thumbs up on the ones that you like the style. The ones that have the most thumbs up, I go through, review, and I'm going to make more of those style of videos for you guys. Do I ever find high-end bicycles or accessories in my area? So that is an awesome topic. And Mark, I know you are in the Northwest as well. You're closer up to Seattle, right? If I remember right. Mark's been on the channel for a while. So I'm south of Portland. I'm in a huge biking area, but I've never taken the time to learn the bike category. So I probably have access to tons of inventory as far as biking equipment goes, but Mark, you're on the East Coast. There's another Mark that's on the West Coast that I'm thinking of then. That's so funny. Yeah, we're in a huge biking area, so I know there's opportunity. I've just never taken the time to look up. I don't know bike brands. I don't know the accessories. So it's on my project list. I need to sit down and just like I'm doing with this, like trial and error with it. I already went long. Show the VCRs. I got two. I'll show you guys the VCRs since I already went over. All right. I'll show you guys the good one I found. So VCRs from Goodwills. It's a crapshoot. All you can really do in the store is plug them in, unless you want to bring like a portable TV and a VHS. They have VHS in the store, so you technically could do that. If you wanted to take the time, you could even take one of the TVs they probably have, plug it in, plug this in too, use one of their VHS and their cords, and test it out right in the store if you wanted to. If I plug them in and they turn on, and again, nothing is shaking in there, then it's good to go in my book. Then it comes here to the office. It gets dropped off on my drop-off shelf. Well, this will be a shelf pretty soon. Right now it's a table. It gets dropped off, and then my employee Ryan knows VCRs need fully tested. So we've got a TV and a VHS, DVDs, and he goes through and he tests all these. He makes condition notes, all that kind of stuff. You got to make sure you're testing out every single button on these things. I learned sometimes like rewind doesn't work. And I had the first time I sold one was on eBay, and it came back because the rewind button didn't work. And I'm like, well, duh, I can't just push play and say it works. I've got to check each button. Same thing with camcorders, cameras. You got to make sure each button works. So that was kind of my good one. I think this one, it was a Sharp VCA542. So we'll look that up real quick, show you guys what I'm looking at. And I know someone's going to ask, so just so you guys already have a heads up, I did already do a full video on how I package and ship these, so you can go to our channel and check that out. VC, it's a lot easier than people make it out to be. People are afraid to do electronics because of the shipping, and it's not that bad. Like if you're willing to put in a little extra work, make sure they get there in one piece, and you're usually pretty good. So VCRs, typically you're going to be paying, I mean, they're 69 cents a pound, so you're paying like $3, somewhere around there. This one does not have a remote, but without a remote, it did sell for $15 plus $55 shipping. So we're just going to call that a $70 total price. This one sold for $139 with no remote. Sometimes you get these weird spikes where it may have been one of the only ones listed when it sold. This one sold for $109, but it has has a blank VHS with it and a remote. One sold for $57 with a remote. One sold for $30. That'd be $40. So you guys can see these range between $40 and $100. So I'm going to come in. It's a little dinged up. I've got blank VHS tapes, just extras from an old inventory load we had. So I'm going to include VHS tapes with this, and I'm probably going to list it at about $60. And granted, it works. If not, I'll list it for parts at about $35, and that covers my shipping and make a few bucks on it that way. Yeah, a little extra work for a lot of extra money. I mean, if you guys are on my Instagram, you saw that I picked out this Evernote Scan Snap. It was a Scan Snap scanner Evernote edition. Picked it up for $10, and I took extra time on this. I tested every single piece of that. I installed the software in my computer. I scanned multiple receipts to make sure there was no paper jams. I made sure everything was pristinely tested on that, and it sold for $305. And it was only listed for, I think, maybe 2 days. So the higher ticket the item, the more work I'm willing to put into it. Like if VCRs sell for 100 plus, I'm going to get an extra remote. I'm going to make sure it's got cords, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, that's awesome. Side Hustle Jack said he sold 4 VCR DVD combos since he watched the video. It's crazy. They're everywhere. People donate this stuff all the time. They sell them for a couple bucks at garage sales, and they're everywhere. Hey, there you go. Billy Dub said, I'm 2 weeks into eBay and I've got 5 VCRs lined up. It's fun getting out there. That's awesome. And that's the whole point of doing all this too. It's about having fun with it. Like I could just not do eBay. I can put 100% of my time, my focus, my money all into wholesale on Amazon, and I can hire another employee to run. And between my 2 employees, they would run everything. I could do that and it would make sense because I would make more money, but it would then take the joy out of the hunt. Like that's why I love to do this stuff. This is chaos to so many people. And there's a weird batch of us, probably you guys in the chat too. There's this weird batch of us that we love this shit. Like I could be running a multi-million-dollar business on Amazon with just wholesale alone, but I would still do this on the side as a side hobby because I love this shit, right? I was up out the door at 6 a.m. this morning. Like, I didn't even hesitate to get out of bed. I love to hunt down and find this kind of stuff. Half of it is, yes, I love to make the money. I love to take $10, buy a scanner and sell it for $305. That's fun, but I also love to make sure that this gets into the right hands of that person looking for this exact thing, right? There's another joy that comes with that you can't replace that by having more money. Like I'm good. I've got to have passion in my life or I'll get bored as shit. And I know people that have gone into wholesale and built a great business and they still go do retail arbitrage in thrift stores because they just love it. And that's the thing. Don't let anyone or any of these courses or YouTubers tell you you have to do wholesale to be successful. You have to do private label to do that. You don't need to do anything other than what you want to do. If you want to make an extra $1,000 a month flipping stuff on the side, doing garage sales on eBay, and you love the shit out of it, then keep doing it, right? That's it. I'm done for the day. I'm going to put this all in my pile for my employee tomorrow. And I'm going to go hang out with my 4-year-old and my wife. And then I'm going to wake up early and go do this all again tomorrow because it's what I get to do right now. And I love it. Thank you all for tuning in. As always, much appreciated. The fact that you guys take your time and chill with me on these little live haul videos is awesome. So hopefully you got some value out of this content. Again, hit that like button, that thumbs up. That gives us a really good idea on what type of content to keep producing for you guys. But as always, we'll keep it raw behind the scenes. A lot of the time there's no fancy editing, no pre-done bullet points or topics. It's just, we're going to come up here, keep producing content for you guys. So hopefully you keep tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a great night.